Chanel versus YSL, which is the better brand? Hello everyone, welcome back to another mommy review where I review all things for the love of. Today I am checking out the brands Chanel versus YSL, which is the better brand. Now before I get started, if you like the content on this channel, I appreciate it very much if you consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for considering, and on with the video. Both Chanel and YSL are two of the top French fashion houses known for beautiful handbags. But I think that Chanel is quite highly coveted in the luxury brand world. So in order to assess which brand is better, I'm going to be going over the history, the price range, the target audience, the style, the materials and craftsmanship, resale value, exclusivity, and finally come to my final conclusion: YSL versus Chanel, which is the better brand. Let's get started. History. Chanel has a much richer history compared to YSL. This luxury fashion house was founded by Gabrielle Chanel in 1910. The brand first started with women's ready-to-wear high fashion clothing and accessories, but for this video I'm really going to focus on their handbags in particular. Now, comparing the history to Saint Laurent has a history of working with the talented Christian Dior before opening his own brand in 1962. And in 1999, Saint Laurent joined part of the Kering Group, which is a group that includes brands like Gucci, Bottega, Balenciaga, and so much more. Pricing. Between the two brands, YSL is definitely a little bit more affordable. The prices of YSL handbags range between $900 to $3,000, and for select styles and like exotic skins, they can go up to $20,000. It is one of those love it for its moderate pricing compared to, let's say, Chanel and even Hermes, but it still carries like a really classic, timeless design and quality that is pretty consistent. Now compared to Chanel, Chanel has gone over a number of price increases over the last few years, so the bags have definitely gone up in price, ranging between $3,000 to like $12,000 for some of the regular bags, although handbags that are more exotic skins are going to be much more expensive. These prices points show that Chanel bags are definitely the more expensive option. Target audience. Now, YSL seems to be geared towards a younger generation, I would say, compared to Chanel. There's no reason that it would exclude an older crowd, but I would say Chanel is just very popular because of its timeless appeal, its longevity, and just like a vast range of colors and sizes. And throughout the years, like, it's just gained momentum in terms of popularity and appeal to a larger mass market. Style. I think that YSL has a very effortless, modern elegance with a sophisticated edge. Its popularity has definitely skyrocketed in the last few years. Lots of innovative yet like classic design. One of the favorites are probably their quilted LOEWE bag that has been like the mainstay in many wardrobes. But I think YSL handbags in general are a little bit more hip, revamp, and like trendy classic with a luxurious yet minimalistic feel. I think the YSL design still embodies a very sophisticated design with Parisian contemporary style, yet still functional and versatile and on trend for everyday use. With that said, like I mentioned, YSL is more focused on a younger generation compared to Chanel, so that does speak to its designs as well. Compared to Chanel, now Chanel definitely has a very distinct style. Chanel bags are kind of like a status symbol. Most other bags are quilted in a diamond pattern and like features like leather threaded chain link strap that are so iconic and signature for Chanel. While almost all Chanel handbags are like decorated with like their large Chanel logo, brand name, making it like instantly recognizable, I do find that everybody knows the look of a Chanel sometimes even without looking at the logo itself. I think it's an ideal brand if you're looking for a style that is like very glamorous and like luxurious look. Definitely like on a class of its own. Yes, YSL are trendy, cool, and classic, but they're just not exactly a Chanel. Materials and craftsmanship. YSL is known for mostly lambskin, like really buttery leather that's like great quality. If you take a look at one of their best-selling handbags, including the LOEWE, even like without touching it, you can see how buttery soft the leather is. And of course, it has a signature Saint Laurent hardware with stitching that is just top-notch. But I must say, not all YSL bags are created equally, so there are differences in quality between batch to batch. In terms of like pebble texture leather, I do find that they hold up a little bit better compared to lambskin or other smooth leathers that tend to scratch a little bit more easily. I find the leather actually quite durable, but then again, I think it really depends on how you use the bag. Now, about Chanel. I think for Chanel handbags, they're most often made of leather, most commonly calfskin, lambskin, as well as caviar leather. Of course, Chanel also has exotic skins available, but they also have denim and tweed handbags as well. I find that for my Chanel handbags, especially the lambskin ones, they require a little bit more care and attention. It should be noted that the quality of the material for Chanel has declined over time, but they are mostly crafted from Italy, Spain, and Paris. Of course, Chanel mainly known for lambskin, and for me personally, I just love their caviar leather. Resale value. YSL bags generally don't make great investments. They are pretty hot on the resale market though, especially for popular styles like the LOEWE handbag. Comparing YSL to Chanel, I feel like Chanel is like a whole different level. It's like the holy trinity of like brands of Chanel, Hermes, and Louis Vuitton definitely have a much higher resale value for Chanel, given that there is a larger audience. Of course, like the upfront cost for Chanel handbag is a lot more compared to a YSL handbag, but with the frequent price increases that you see for Chanel, you definitely get a better and better resale value. One of the more prominent features of Chanel with the classic quilting and the prominent logo and the monogram, it is not uncommon for Chanel bags to retain their value and sometimes even fetch a higher price in the secondhand market compared to if you were to buy it from the boutique. And part of it is just the Chanel branding, the value associated with instant prestige and luxury that the brand itself has built over a number of years. Exclusivity. There's been some changes at Chanel that has made some of the Chanel handbags and other goods a little bit more exclusive by, for example, Chanel limiting the number of bags that one person can buy in a year and limiting the number of Chanel bags in certain leathers that can be made from year to year. So for the most part, if you're looking to buy a Chanel handbag, your dream bag, let's say a small classic flap, you're more than likely to join a waiting list. As opposed to, let's say, for YSL, there's really no such system. You can easily get your hands on a YSL favorite handbag without having to wait. So what is the final verdict? YSL versus Chanel, which is the better brand? While YSL may not be as popular or as world-renowned as Chanel, there are just many things going for it. It is a tough choice between YSL and Chanel, but I think it comes down to a few important factors, despite both of these brands being top brands with gorgeous handbags. So here are the important differences for you to consider. Number one is the price range. Chanel handbags are going to be a little bit pricier and difficult to get a hold of, but the styles for Chanel bags are quite classic and a really nice staple piece to a wardrobe for you to cherish forever. However, if you're a little bit on a budget, I think YSL does offer some really classic and sophisticated handbag that can be used for many occasions. The second point is resale value. If you are less concerned about resale value and looking for a classic, timeless handbag, YSL is the brand for you. It is more of like a great budget-friendly handbag. But if you're looking for an investment piece that hopefully will retain its value, if not fetch for a higher price in the resale market, just in case, let's say you don't like the Chanel bag after purchasing it, I think Chanel is a safer bet to go. The third point is the styling. It really depends on your preference for a brand aesthetic that will go with your wardrobe. If you're looking for something like gorgeous, iconic handbag that is almost like a statement piece, I think Chanel is a great choice, a great heirloom piece. If you're looking for something that is a little bit more minimalistic, more kind of like trendy sophistication, I would say that there's more options for you at YSL that's worth the price. But at the end of the day, I think it's important to understand whether a bag is worth it. It's really highly subjective. At the end of the day, it's your call if it's worth the price. The price that you're paying for is for the design, the idea behind the handbag, the brand value. I feel like it's almost like an art, like a Picasso painting. Would it be worth just as much if it wasn't from Picasso? People need to stop minimalizing the design and the designer of these handbags. It's not necessarily just tangible material that you can hold on to, the string, the thread, the leather that's associated with the handbag. I think handbags are an art to appreciate. Since some of these luxury brands are just simply stunning pieces of art, I do find that it's really difficult to choose between all the different options available. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this handbag review of YSL versus Chanel. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which brand do you prefer? Are you a YSL handbag fan, or are you a fan of the Chanel classic? Well, I'd love to hear from you, and also maybe your experience with some of these handbag brands. That's it for today. Until next time, I'll see you in another video. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.